Hi guys, what's up? Been a while.
Hey,
Three of us here.
what's up, man? How you doing, guys?
Man, a lot of stuff happening in the world today. Huh?
This Kendrick and Drake Lamar
Ridiculous.
beef. The big three rappers currently today are Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole. Okay? So I guess Kendrick Lamar, who's a fairly accomplished guy, like musically, and he won some other award, like a Pulitzer or something. He won something for his writing. So he's pretty like
No,
legitimate.
he's top notch. No
So
doubt
there's
about it.
apparently these guys are the big three, and Kendrick Lamar, unofficially the big three in rap. And Kendrick Lamar releases a song that basically says, "There's no big three, it's just me," right? And so that sort of sparks this. Now maybe there's a backstory behind that, but that's sort of what brings this out into the forefront now. And then Drake,
So he led the match. But...
he lit the match.
Okay.
Okay. And so then Drake comes back and basically says, "There's no, you ain't in the big three, right? I am, but you're not." And so now they have this thing going on, right?
It's not a little bit no such thing as bad publicity.
Right?
Elevates them all.
Right. So now then they go into a series of songs where they're kind of like coming back at each other and it's escalating, right? So Drake makes a song and uses an AI version of Tupac's voice that somehow claps back at Kendrick Lamar, and then Kendrick Lamar releases a song. I believe the song is called Euphoria, and it's a shot at Drake because I think he's a producer or something on the HBO show Euphoria, so it's a shot at him, and then it makes some reference to Kendrick Lamar, has a kid and he's just going to go be a father, which I guess is some sort of like insult at Drake maybe not being an appropriate father or a
Absentee father.
Right. Who knows, right? And, then Kendrick Lamar has to come back and say something else, and it just sort of like escalates. One takes a shot at their wife.
So who's the third one again?
The third one in this thing?
Yes.
There's this guy, J. Cole, and
So he's going to be...
Yeah, but he immediately backed out. He was like, "I don't want any part of this type of thing," right?
I'm
like,
okay being number two. You guys decide number one.
Yeah, I don't know. In the most recent Kendrick Lamar song, where I guess the word on the street is he basically kind of like put the nail in the coffin and put Drake down with this one. He talks about like basically coming up behind him and shooting him. So if something were to happen to Drake in that fashion, so at one of Drake's houses in Toronto, you just had this security guard that was shot, and the circumstances are unclear. I don't think they know who did it, but they were immediately sort of like the police were looking into this sort of link between this ongoing feud that has escalated from just some like I'm a better rapper than you to where it got personal, where they're talking about families and pedophilia and all this other stuff. I have a friend who recently here in Los Angeles was a neighbor of Drake's, and we were at their house one night and somebody came on the property of Drake, and immediately like the whole neighborhood was shut down. Police were everywhere, helicopters. We were like locked inside the house. Now these guys are obviously they're selling records and they're making albums and they're talking back and forth on social media, whatever. That's great. We should call their PR people and be like, "Guys, you guys need to just put this crap aside and do an album together and just take this out."
Each one comes out with...
Look, you even come up with terms so that nobody really ends up looking like the loser, right? But it's like you have fun with it and you make a ton of money because who wouldn't buy this? Right? If these are the two most popular guys.
Yeah.
Again, but if the bad publicity comes to be true,
that's not good.
that may be the end of one of them.
Honestly, when it comes to kids and young followers, I think the J. Cole approach is being the adult in the room and saying, "Listen, this is really not the way to handle this."
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
One thing is for sure. In the next...
So I guess we're all J. Cole team?
Yeah.
After all that?
I think that's the best move right here.
Right.
This stuff is stupid.
Or maybe he's the loser of this because these two guys are able to generate publicity, downloads, income in a very short period of time based on this publicity.
Well, when I started, reading up on this, right, when we decided this is what we're going to talk about today, I'm looking at this big three, and I know J. Cole. I've heard him. He's been around a while, but I didn't think he was like that level, right? I know Drake is up there, but I didn't think J. Cole was there. So maybe he's the loser in all this, right? Because he didn't capitalize.
Didn't invest.
On this side. So who knows?
All right.
Well, guys, we'll know.
All I know is Drake was on SNL a couple years ago, and he did the skit where he reenacted his bar mitzvah, which was just fantastic. Okay, so
incredible. I know what you're talking about. Incredible.
If you haven't seen that, it's fantastic. He's a wonderful performer. I enjoy him. Right, he's an NBA wife. Right, He's
Correct.
He's
Yeah.
sitting on the sideline, next to
He's-
players. He's dying to be.
He's married to Toronto.
He's married to Toronto.
All right.
Crazy.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Good
to see
talk.
you.
Good to see you.
Good talk. Yep.